Dan is slowly coming to terms with the realization that there's not going to be a quick escape from this living nightmare. He is stuck here potentially for months if he ever gets out at all. For now, he needs to focus on gathering supplies and learning how to build those antennas. Well, Dan did not expect that he would ever be back at the Rosewood Fire Department, let alone back just a couple of days later. Yes, indeed, he is back in Rosewood. Just can't believe that he tried to find some antennas that didn't exist. He's going to have to try and learn how to build them from scratch. So first things first, it's a short trip up the road to the bookstore to find a Metalworking Volume 1 book. Okay, so here is the bookstore, and as you can see, there's still some derpy zombies tripping over at nothing. But there are a lot of zombies coming into the area. Now Dan has got a spear, so he is ready to do some damage. But I think first, as always, he's going to have to take a chill pill, as it seems to have attracted every single zombie within a square mile. And there's the spear gone already. Oh, I hope it's not going to be one of those days. Let's get a hand axe. Let's get this done. Dan is eager to get into that bookstore and start working with his metalworking and electronic. He desperately wants to get those antennas up and running. Okay, and again, more zombies. Dead zombies, obviously the best type, means more opportunities to find and disassemble some digital watches. Ooh. Hearing a zombie somewhere. That is the bookstore. Dan is looking. Maybe it's just the wind. Maybe it's just the wind. Dan is looking for Metalworking Volume 1 and Electrical Volume 2. Okay, well there we are. Metalworking Volume 1 found. I just really hope we can find Electrical Volume 2, because otherwise that is going to add a lot of time on Dan's quest to get the electrical skill he needs. Ooh, just when I thought Dan was going to be out of luck. This is the last bookcase. So there we are. There's the books that we need. That's going to speed things up a lot. But Dan, again, he just wants to get on with it. So we're going straight back to the fire department. He's going to grab some food. He needs to put on a little bit of weight, and we're going to read those books. Okay, well, Dan has had a quick change of plan. He realised that actually there is a time-sensitive thing that he does need to do, and that is stocking up on gas. There is power at the moment, so that means he can draw gas from any gas pump that he finds. But the electricity, the power, could go out at any time. So he's going to be working his way up to the gas station. He's going to fill up the tank of this truck. He's not going to get surprised by that zombie from behind. He's going to fill up every gas can that he's got. He's got about 4 or 5. He needs to make sure he's got a supply of gas available if the power suddenly goes out. And of course, he is also now, he's a little bit of a zombie hunter. Ooh, let's grab that. He's a zombie hunter. He's searching out those zombies for those digital watches. What a situation. Well, I just thought he'd check these nearby vehicles for gas. And one of them's got an empty gas can, so that is exactly what Dan needs. And that is another thing that Dan really, really needs. +1 axe. He's on level 5 axe now, I think. As I said, we need to find some more hand axes. Okay, well, Dan really wants to check out this ambulance, so he's got his paperclip out. He's picking the lock. There we go. There's no end to this man's talents. No key. Let's check the boot, see if there's anything useful. It would be, I kind of fancy this vehicle. It doesn't have the most impressive back capacity there. So I think we'll leave it. There we go. Wow. Okay. Why not? That's another empty gas can. Brilliant. Yeah, well, after having to fight another half-dozen zombies or so, we finally can get into the restaurant. Hopefully find a few morsels of food, because Dan didn't bring anything with him. He has had a much busier morning than he was expecting. Okay, well, rather unsurprisingly, absolutely nothing in the kitchen. Okay, I think there is some sort of apartment here. So let's see if we can find it. Okay, this looks promising. Yes, here we go. Is this maybe the manager lives on site? What are we going to find? This another metalworking. I don't know, are we ever going to get any time for fishing? Let's take it. I hope not. Okay, well, that's the apartment clear. Now, one thing that Dan is going to have to start doing is just disassembling any and every bit of electrical item that he finds. So that's just anything, lamps, TVs, radios, as well as those digital watches. Okay, well, Dan has decided to just head straight for the gas station, which is not there. That's the garage. Oh no, that was bad driving. Man, that was not what you want to see. This car is not going to last very long. There's a lot of zombies around here, but he wanted to just head straight for the gas station so he can focus on what he actually initially set out to do, which was to stock up on gas. But also, there's going to be a fair bit of food here as well, because Dan is really hungry. So before those zombies catch up to him, everywhere's locked up tight. Before those zombies catch up to him, he's just going to jump in here, maybe, and grab something to eat. Yeah, you take your time, Dan. There's just some zombies going to pour through the window at any moment. Oh God. Okay, let's head back outside before we get surrounded. Oof. Okay, this is probably going to be a job for the hand axe after all. We did pass a lot of zombies to get here, so they're going to be following in. As I said before, this is the first bit of fresh meat for month. Oof, we almost got surrounded. But Dan is taking care of business with that hand axe. It's not going to last him long though. There we go. Again, let's just search another M16. It's a poor quality, but let's grab the magazine and we'll search the rest of these zombie corpses for anything that's useful. Well, I was just about to declare this area clear and zombie free, and Dan was about to turn his attention back to the gas station and its food and gas, but as usual, another group of zombies comes into view and there's more work for Dan to do. Well, I got a feeling that Dan is going to be going through a lot of weapons these next few days. That's the hunting knife. Got total, he's gone through about 3 or 4 just in these last couple of days. Okay, so as I've said before, Dan has really worked up an appetite, so it is time for him to absolutely pig out. Okay, well, for the first time in, well, maybe since he sort of crashed in this hellhole, Dan's tummy is well fed, so he's just going to scoop up the rest of the junk food, and this is going to keep him going while he chills out back at the Rosewood Fire Department and reads those skill books. But let's just check out the rest of the gas station for anything useful, any supplies. We'll disassemble that radio. Okay, we're just checking out upstairs. There is definitely a zombie nearby. Just the one, I think. Okay, yeah, just the one. There we go. Okay, well, Dan needs to be kind of quick here, really, because he can hear some zombies outside banging on the back door. He doesn't want to get surrounded. He needs to go and check that out. And then we'll return and finish searching the gas station, disassembling all the electrical gear. Okay, well, it's just the one. Dan thought he might get his first stealth kill, but he has made an absolute mess of that. Okay, there's another group to take care of. Let's do it. Okay, well, this kitchen knife is not going to last much longer, but that is another group taken care of. You can see there's just corpses everywhere, but you know what? Dan is just so good at getting distracted before he goes any further. I mean, that power, come on, it could go out at any moment. So let's fill up the tank of the van and let's find all the gas cans and get those filled up, because for having the We don't want the power to go out right now. That would be devastating. Okay, well that is done. So Dan's got 3 full gas canisters and he's got a full tank in his Dodge Ram. Let's finish searching the rest of the gas station for weapons and supplies and disassemble any electrical that Dan can find. Okay, well Dan's in the back store area of the gas station. He's found another empty gas can. He has also found Mechanics Volume 1. Now maybe if Dan is going to be having an extended stay, wow, another one, in Rosewood in Knox County, that he should actually look to try and get his mechanics up to level 2. So that will enable him to hotwire any vehicle. Now when he was at the rail yard, did see a very attractive, very good looking army vehicle that could mean the difference between life and death for him. So maybe that's another thing that he should look to do, is get that mechanics level up, then he can hotwire any vehicle that he wants. Okay, well as you can see, it is getting dark. Dan is going to fill up those last 2 gas cans. That will give him 5 full gas cans and a full tank of gas. That should really hopefully keep him going till he gets all the way to Louisville, if he gets to Louisville. But for now he's going to go back to the Rosewood Fire Department and well, basically move back in. Well, it seemed that Dan knew best. Dan was made the right call while he was asleep overnight. There was actually a power cut. Oh, but the power is back on. So it was just overnight. For a moment I thought that was it. That was the end of the power, but also overnight. And seems to have changed. We got to sort that hair out. Dan is going to have a pretty chill day at base. These are the books he's got to read. He's going to read Metalworking Volume 1 beginner level first, but he's also got to read the electrical. But he's got a couple of other options. Sneaking could be useful, and mechanics maybe, but maybe he should actually just take a trip back to the video store at the southern end of Rosewood to see what he can find there. Maybe he can fast track his way to mechanics level 2, which being able to hotwire any vehicle would be a massive plus, a big option for him. But it is time to settle down to some reading. He's got a few snacks, nothing that exciting. Okay, well it is taken Dan, wow, all morning and half of the afternoon, but he's read through completely Metalworking Volume 1. So let's actually place that on the other table. Now of course he needs to hold fire on electrical Volume 2 until he's leveled all the way up to electrical level 2. So next up, Dan is feeling focused, although we got to sort that hair before Dan goes out. He's got to sort that hair. I mean, what would the zombies think? Well, somehow Dan does not have any scissors, so I kind of feel like that's also his #1 priority now, getting some scissors to cut that hair. But his priority should be getting metalworking all the way up to level 2. It's going to need some massive strides towards being able to build those antennas. So it's time to get, I mean, he's got to organize all this stuff. He's got so much gear, but somewhere here in one of these bags is a propane torch and a welder's mask. It's time to head back to the Gigamart. There's a laundromat mat there. We're going to work through, disassemble all of the washer dryers, the wash machines, see how close we can get to level 2 metalworking. Okay, so here we are. Dan is a man on a mission. He's got his welder's mask. He's got his propane torch. That is actually a lot of appliances. This could go really well. He could get to where he needs to be metalworking wise just in one afternoon. Okay, well as usual, Dan's work is interrupted by these things, these walkers, these zombies. We wanted to make sure the area is mostly, well, completely clear before he focuses on metalwork, and he doesn't want to get snuck up on from behind. He doesn't want to get caught out. Okay, it is finally time to get to work. Let's hope that Dan can make some real meaningful progress now. Well, there we go. In no time at all, level 1 metalworking. It's possible that Dan could get all the XP he needs, all the understanding that he needs of metalworking in this one room, in this one evening. Okay, well there we go. A couple of refills of his propane torch and more than a couple of hours later, and Dan is not quite, but almost. Let's have a look. Here we go, almost. It's not going to take him. It was 2/3 of the way to metalworking level 2. Yeah, a third of the way. I mean, he's barely halfway to where it needs to be on electrical. That is going to be a massive grind, but it has been a long day for Dan. He's tired. It's 1 in the morning. Let's get him back to base, the Rosewood Fire Department. That is going to be his base for the next days and weeks. And tomorrow he's going to turn his attention to the residential area. He's going to loot all the nearby homes for electrical gear. There's going to be TVs, radios, and of course zombies. And he can finish off the metalworking with the fridges as well. Okay, what is the next morning? It is time for Dan to introduce himself to the Rosewood neighborhood. He's going to be looking to strip this neighborhood of food, of electrical items, but also of zombies. And looks like, yeah, he's got quite a group to deal with already. Now we're going with the crowbar, get that long blunt experience. Dan needs to not die, but Dan needs to get good at everything if he's going to work his way through Louisville via the hospital where the 3rd journal is, but also to get to the Ohio Mall. I still can't believe that that is the final boss fight, so to speak, for him. Okay, well, it's taken Dan quite a long time. And then, of course, there is always another zombie. Needs to get some XP in this long blunt. So for the moment, yeah, sure, it's going to take 3, 4, 5 hits to take down the zombies. But hopefully that investment of time and effort will pay off for when he has to take on Louisville. Well, Dan's finally got brave enough to go inside. I think we'll leave the pipe wrench. Let's see if we've got any food. Dan is probably going to get hungry soon. Okay, we'll grab it. We'll take it. Okay, well that is the immediate neighborhood cleared out, and it is time for Dan to start investigating each home. He's going to be looking to stock up on food. Finally put some weight back on. He's lost a lot of weight. Disassemble all of the electrical items that he can on that long slow grind up to level 3 electrical. Okay, so we're finally in. Just the one zombie. Okay, we've found a scarf. It is potentially life-saving because it gives some important protection to the neck, which is, you know, quite a favorite area for zombies to attack. Now we could do with a few morsels of food. Okay, and he's just going to eat as he goes, disassemble as he goes. It's going to be a busy day. Okay, so as well as disassembling all of the electrical items, the radios, the TVs, now he's going to be disassembling all of the ovens as well, and of course all of the washing machines and tumble dryers, and also all of the lamps and any video games, electrical stuff that he can find. And of course, for that valuable metalworking XP, Dan can disassemble nets and toilets as well. Well, the neighborhood has been pretty quiet. There's about 5 or 6, 7 houses nearby, right in the bottom corner of this residential area, and there is not a zombie as far as the eye could see. Now, Dan is on the seafood diet. He sees food, he eats it. Okay, well, there we go. That is metalworking level 2. That is a massive, massive stride for Dan to get to the skills and the knowledge that he needs. And also, let's just take the metal sheets and the small metal sheets. I think Dan is still maybe 1 or 2 pieces short of all of the equipment that he needs to build those antennas. Now, if only electrical level 3 was just as easy, because he's got a long way to go. Let's just take a moment to check out the skills. There you can see those lovely green squares. Metalworking level 2 sorted, but you can see barely past halfway to level 2, and then he's got another, I don't know, 250 XP just to get to level 3. It is going to take a lot of time and effort. You know, while we're at it, there's the skills, but let's look also at what Dan has achieved in zombie kills. He's underweight as usual. 22 days and 11 hours in, he has had to kill, he's had to slaughter, he's had to take out 2,169 zombies. He's been busy. Okay, well, on to the next house. This is house number 4, and Dan has been kind of getting those XP and those skills, that experience. Dan has made kind of rapid progress now. I know he's finished. Yeah, let's not eat a rotten salmon. But let's continue with the seafood diet. Now, I know that Dan has got that metalworking XP that he needs. He's ready to go. It's just the electrical and he now needs to focus on. But he's going to keep on that welder's mask because it hides that god-awful haircut. Okay, well, it is getting late. It is getting dark. Dan does need to be careful, but this whole area seems to be kind of, yeah, totally deserted. I was just about to say, but of course, then a zombie appears at the back door. So he does need to be careful. He shouldn't be too casual, but he's going to have to spend a lot of time searching through the homes for those electrical items that he needs to disassemble to learn what he needs to do. How is he going to assemble those antenna? This is what I'm talking about. Dan needs to be careful. He shouldn't get too casual, too overconfident. He could hear the zombie, but he couldn't tell exactly where they were, and just a little bit of just being a bit too casual, being a bit lackadaisical. It can all be over for Dan. Okay, well, on to the next house. It is 2 o'clock in the morning. Dan is a little bit drowsy. But he wants to continue. He wants to try and at least get to level 2 electrical. Yeah, well, Dan has finally found some scissors so he can finally get rid of that awful Donny haircut. Okay, well, it is 4 o'clock in the morning. Dan has made some significant inroads into his journey to escape from Knox County. He's got metalworking level 2. Still a long way to go with electrical level 3. He's not even, still 30 XP away from level 2. It's going to be a massive grind, but he's got the time. Hopefully he can do it. I mean, Rosewood seems to be pretty clear of zombies now. It's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of grinding, and then he can move on to finally assembling those antennas. But for now, that is going to have to be all. It is 4:20 in the morning. Dan is tired. His awareness is reduced. He's going to actually probably stay here. I mean, why not? That looks like a very comfy bed. Let's just close all the curtains. That is going to have to be it for today's episode. Dan is settled in back in Rosewood. He never thought he would come back, but here he was just a few days later. He's got metalworking level 2. Still a long ways to go to get that electrical skill that he needs, but he's getting there. I hope you guys are enjoying this series. There's a lot of work for Dan to do. I hope you will come along for the journey, see Dan hopefully get the hell out of Knox County. But for now, that is all. Peace.